up, everyone? Ryan Larkin back with another edition of the Daily Fantasy Racing Quick Picks on the Mayo Media Network. This week, we got the NASCAR Cup Series from Atlanta and another super speedway style race. So definitely expecting some big action, some big carnage, and a fun race overall. Anytime we get these super speedway type races where there is a lot of carnage possibilities and guys can come from the back and finish up front, that leaves a lot of possibilities in terms of DFS, and it makes it very hard to pinpoint who the best plays are and who might be optimal for us. So definitely going to be a difficult one, but always a fun one, and not necessarily a difficult one to truly hammer down the best plays, but to get perfect and optimal can be tricky. Of course, as always for this video, we are going to take a look at my race winner or dominator of the week, the tournament play of the week, the value play of the week, and the fade of the week. Last week was really, really, really good. Give out 4 plays here, as I just mentioned, and all 4 were optimal. Unfortunately, one of them was my fade of the week. So we're 0 for 2 back-to-back here with the fades of the week, but really happy to get 3 optimal plays out there for you guys last week. Hopefully we can do that again this week, give some good options for you, and can give you the opportunity to win some money, hopefully. So Atlanta Super Speedway, as I'm calling it now, is a mile and a half still. Was repaved last year, so now it has higher banking and a smooth surface. So it's pretty much wide open for these Cup guys at this point. They get good runs through the draft. They're able to get some good suction up on the car in front, which allows them to pass or really just maintain with the main pack if you're talking about the back of the pack guys. So really everyone's in it. Because they're running in these big packs, though, that does leave the possibility for big wrecks. I think we had a 12-car wreck about the midway point last race here back in March. So anything could happen. The Xfinity race wasn't too carnage filled. A lot of 1 or 2 car crashes. Nothing involving a bunch of cars, but that's always a possibility. So this race, like I said, because we're thinking maybe there's some carnage and some guys can come from the back and finish up front, we're going to be a little bit different in how we play. I'm not going to be as interested as guys starting up front. I am looking for maybe one main dominator, one guy that's going to lead a bunch of laps, but I'm not looking to play 2 guys, 3 guys, even that, nothing from top 15 really. I'm really looking to hit some high place differential guys. So with that said, let me go ahead and get into my picks for the week. The first one, the Dominator race winner, is probably kind of obvious. I definitely like going with the guys that start first, and especially when there's a good reasoning behind it. So my Dominator of the week, really just looking for him to lead a good chunk early and finish top 5 probably, is Chase Elliott. He led 29 laps here in March back. I believe he finished 5th or 6th in that race. Can't exactly remember, but 5th or 6th, led 29 laps, was strong. His teammate William Byron led 111 laps, though, and won. So the Hendrick cars had really good speed here back in March in the first race on this track. So I definitely like Chase Elliott here. At 10,500, the price isn't that bad. You can pretty much afford him and do whatever you want with the rest of your lineup, which is good. And, hopefully from the pole, at least he can get some early domination, some laps led, and pocket some points. And then I think, of course, with what we saw with Byron, I think Chase Elliott has that massive dominator ability where he can lead a large chunk of this race. So something to factor in. Ross Chastain's a good pivot. Starting second. Chastain led a few laps here. And I believe he finished 2nd in March. So Chastain was really strong. He should look good. So a lot of guys kind of fall in that realm. I think the Chevy cars are going to be strong. I think the Hendrick power is really up there as good as anything, and that really helps them in a race like this. Next up, my tournament play of the week is going to be Kurt Busch at 8,200. As I mentioned just a minute ago, I'm really interested in the place differential plays. And Kurt Busch is going to fit that mold well, but he's not going to be too chalky. So Bubba Wallace starting 32nd. It's going to be chalk play of the century. Everyone's going to be on that. His teammate Kurt Busch at $500 less, starting 21st, offers us some place differential potential as well. He's a safer, more consistent driver, makes better decisions, and that's something I love. He finished 3rd here in the March race, so was able to make the smart moves, avoid the carnage, and get a really good finish back in March. I just like everything Kurt does in these races. He's just smart and makes the right decisions, and that gives him a chance at a good finish at the end. So if he can get a top 10 finish out of this race, I think he could be in contention for the optimal. Next up, my value play of the week, I think Brett Keselowski was probably the guy that most people were going to jump on. So kind of like Bubba Wallace, I didn't want to give him out this week. That's the chalk. We'll leave that to the side. This week, I'm going Corey Lejoy at 5,400. Corey Lejoy really excels on these super speedway type races, does a great job staying out of trouble, and that really sets him up well for the end. This year alone, on the 3 tracks that I would consider super speedway type racing, pack racing, he's finished 14th, 14th, and 5th. 5th here at Atlanta in the spring. So, anything inside the top 15th from his 30th starting position is going to be a good score. Super cheap gives you that value option if you do want to take a higher end guy like Chase Elliott or Chastain or really any of the high price guys. This is the salary option to balance that out. And like I said, he's super consistent. If you go back years, the last 3-4 years, you see a lot of top 10s on the super speedways, and that's because he's smart and gets to the end of the race and gives himself a position for a good result. So really excited for Corey Lejoy as always. He's had some mechanical issues this year, so a little nervous about that, but it's staring us right in the face that he's just such a solid, good, safe play. Next up, fade of the week. After Reddick last week and Truex the week before that, I'm a little nervous giving out a fade, but this one I feel pretty confident about. Kyle Larson starting third, 10,100. As I mentioned with Chase Elliott's section, Byron dominated a lot. Chase Elliott, I think, has Dominator potential. So technically, Kyle Larson does have the ability to lead. His car is going to be good. But Kyle Larson is really, really bad at the pack racing, self-admittedly. I think he finished 5th at Talladega or top 5, and he was blown away. It was like his first top 5. I don't know if it was ever, but it was one of those stats where you're like, dang, he's just really bad at this style of racing. So I don't expect him to finish top 5. I do expect him to be kind of in that chaos zone. So unless he can get out front and dominate some and then finish up front, he can be a really bad play this week. If for some reason he does get out front and lead some and finishes top 5, then I'll have to eat crow yet again. But hopefully that's not the case. I like fading Larson just because on these pack races he has not delivered. With that said, that'll wrap it up. I appreciate you guys for checking out the video. As always, anytime you're watching these videos, like them, subscribe to the Mayo Media Network, and then leave us a comment. Let me know what your picks are, who you like, who you don't like. If I gave anyone out that you think I'm just crazy, let me know it. I'm always willing to take the heat. So leave us a comment on there. And then be ready for the next video next week. Always make sure you're subscribed. For my personal stuff, you can catch me on Twitter at Larkin8, or I do all my content for NASCAR and F1 at dailyfanracing.com. Really good success over there lately, so excited about what's going on there.